This is the Sattler Files.
DevWright Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At DevWright Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about DevWright Homes at www.devwright.com.au.
This is the Sattler Files.
Welcome back to the Sattler Files, and you're listening to Bricks and Mortar, and I'm joined every week by Jay Mangano from DevWright Homes. Now, Jay, obviously you own a business company, a building company, and you're a woman. Two glaringly obvious things. What I want to talk about today is it different? Is it harder being a woman in a man's world?
No, I don't think so. I think it's hard in business, in whatever industry you're in. So if you're in fashion, which would be a woman's industry, no, I think it's just as hard.
It is tough.
It is just a really hard market at the moment, it doesn't seem to be picking up much.
Anytime soon, does it?
Yeah, we're just hoping spring tomorrow is
tomorrow.
The change.
Yes, and we can live in hope, can't we? That the end of winter, the winter of our discontent, as they say, is over and done with.
Yes, hopefully. But yeah, sometimes you do get the men that don't want to deal with you as a woman.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, you're working with tradies and subcontractors and blokey blokes. There's no other way to put it, because they are. How do they treat you?
No, most of the time they are really good. Mm-hmm. I pay the bills, so
this is true. This is true.
So they tend to respect the fact that I'm there and I'm the one that pays them. So
your word is God.
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
They've got to pick up and listen. Now, in the past, I mean, you haven't always been in the building industry. Did you find it difficult because you were actually up north, again in another man's environment?
Yes. I grew up on a farm, so that's kind of how it is on the farm. Everyone does everything.
Everyone pitches in. There's no pecking order. Literally.
Yeah. So I came from an all-girl family as well, so my dad didn't have it good. So we always had to do whatever we had to do, and so it never became a girl's job or a boy's job. It was just a job and a chore to be accomplished and to be done. Yes.
You're in partnership with your husband, Ron.
Yes.
Ron looks after what would you say? What side of the business do you think that Ron looks after?
Ron does the supervision. He does all the site supervision. I manage the trades and getting them to site. I manage
you pay the bills,
product,
you move
getting
the
to
money
site.
around. Yes.
Ron does most of the actual site work. So I don't lift many heavy things.
Oh, that's good to hear. But you would if you had to.
I can if I have to, yes.
It's the good farming stock. That's why.
It is. Yes.
Do you really think that your tradies don't treat you differently?
No, I don't think so, no. Because many of our trades have been with us ever since we've only had one electrician. He's worked on every job we've ever done. So,
well, obviously you're a good manager or a good boss, because if you can keep a client for that long, or a subby for that long, that shows something. Yeah.
Many years ago, we set his standard and said we'll have this at 300 off the ground, and we'll have that, and we'll have that, and it's great because we've stuck to that standard, and he knows exactly what he's got to do, and it's really good to have permanent subbies.
Oh, absolutely, because it's DevWright Homes of Distinction. So you build a certain high level home, you need to have high level tradesmen, and all the chores, all the jobs, everything that's on that site has to be top quality.
That's correct. Yes. yeah. So, and all our tradesmen have an expectation that they will be nice to the neighbours. They won't swear, and they won't put their music up loud, and they generally be good people, polite to the neighbours, say hello.
Well, they're a reflection of Devrite Homes, aren't they?
They are, and all our tradies are told they're a reflection of us, so that they have a standard that they have to maintain.
Yep.
Because our reputation is what we hold near and dear.
Well, if you haven't got a reputation, you haven't got anything.
That's correct.
So you want to keep your you want to keep your level of that's what distinguishes you from any other building company.
Yes, that's correct.
And you don't do cookie cutter homes, you do originals.
Yes. So our homes are designed for our clients. And our clients are involved in their homes. This is their dream home. So a lot of our clients, when we hand over, they actually
become friends and stay friends.
There's a loss, and they can feel the loss coming. They're going, but I'm not going to know what to do with myself because I've been so involved, and all of a sudden it's going to be gone. They go, we can build another house.
Well, we can build you another one if you want to go through it all again.
Yeah.
No, but I can understand that you would build up a great rapport.
Yes.
I mean, if you're working closely with a client for 12, 18 months, whatever it is, I mean, there's a few months before the slab goes down, so there's a lot of preliminary work, preliminary meetings, so to speak.
That's correct, yes.
So you would develop a relationship.
Yeah, usually it takes about, if we're designing from scratch and we've got to go through planning approval, usually it will take about 8 months to get from first meeting to get to ground.
With all the approvals.
With all the approvals and planning
shires,
approval.
councils, all of that.
Some of them take longer, like the one in West Leederville.
Which is driving you mad, I know.
Yes, it is definitely driving me mad, but
you can rise above that, Jay Mangano, because
I can.
You've had trouble with things in the past and you've always worked around it and resolved it.
Yes, this is the first one in all these years that I've had to go to court for, but that's just life. And
well, you're not going to give up now.
No, they're not going to contest it, but it's just a process now. So they're not going to contest it, but we have to go through the motions
and pay the court fees. And pay someone to go there. Yeah.
And
it sounds unfair, doesn't it? But it happens.
Yeah. Yes, and it does. But you'd think with the economy the way it is, government departments would be helping.
I would think they'd be falling over themselves to get projects off the ground so that people can be employed, people can be actually working.
Yeah, they don't see it like that. They don't
because they've got cushy jobs for life.
That's right. And they just don't see it like that. They get paid every fortnight, so it really has no effect on them at all.
And you can't bully them, which you wouldn't do anyway. You can't even strong arm them because it is what it is, and you're at their mercy.
Yeah. I rang WA Planning Commission the other day, and I wanted to speak to a manager, and they go, "No, there's none of those here."
What do you mean? There's no managers?
What, there's no one here you can talk to? And I go, oh, there must be. No, there's not. And she put it in writing. I said, no, I want to speak to somebody. And she would give up before me because I've got something to lose and she did. So I just I wouldn't hang up.
Yeah.
I said, no, I want to speak to a manager. In the end, she put me through to someone. She said, I'll put you through to this person. I said, and what does he do? Oh, he's the manager of such as, so you do have managers.
You're a very tenacious woman, Jay Mangano, and that's why you've succeeded and done so well, because you do push and keep going and going.
Yes, it's
because this is something you're doing it on your client's behalf.
Yeah.
You're doing it for someone else.
I am. Yes,
this isn't your dream home you're building; it's somebody else's dream home.
It's a lot of it is just red tape for the sake of red tape, and you think, I thought you were going to get rid of the red tape, but they just don't. And there's
There isn't really any way around it other than patience and a will to succeed, which you obviously have.
Yes, I have.
Are there
yes.
as a woman, let's just go back. I know it makes this interview very sexist, but are there times when you suddenly think, this is all too hard, I'd rather go home and make cakes?
There are times, but they don't last long. You kind of
work through it.
Usually if you sleep on it overnight, I'll look about something overnight and I'll sleep on it and I'll work through it in my head during the night. And usually when I get up the next morning, I'm fine.
You're dealing with it.
I've got over it and moved on. And that's what you got to keep doing. You've just got to keep moving on.
You've just got to keep putting one foot forward.
Yeah, stop and wallow in it. It just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the stress comes, so just move on.
And when you're stressed, you don't perform, you don't function.
No. So get rid of stress as soon as you can.
When in your past life, when you were up north driving big trucks,
yes,
do you think that was a good training ground for you for learning how to be tough and strong?
I don't consider myself tough and strong. I'm actually.
I actually know you, and you're actually the kindest, most gentle person I've ever met. But I'm a stayer, so I just keep going and keep going and keep going. Up north was different. I had my job to do and I just go to work and do it. So I had no prospect of going up the ladder or anything like that. No, we didn't want to.
No.
You were just doing that job to fill in that period of time in your life. Yeah. And as it turned out, you met your husband-to-be.
That's correct,
which was life-changing in itself.
Yes. And, when I stayed home, he stayed working in the mines for a short period of time till he couldn't stand it without me.
He missed you so much.
Yes, he did.
But that's the beauty of your relationship with Ron, that any prospective clients get the double package. They get the both of you. They do. And if he's your yin to your yang, it works very, very different, and you complement each other perfectly. Yeah, we do. And he's a very he researches all the time, so he knows how things work. He can see what's going to happen before it happens. So he's very patient as well. He is, isn't he? He is very patient. It would take a lot for Ron to fly off the handle, I think. Yeah, he doesn't fly off very often. Except for the kids, he doesn't. But in business he probably wouldn't need to, because you're there and you're doing everything to make sure things run smoothly anyway. The only thing that will make him arc up is if someone tries to bully him. He will not handle being bullied. Oh, fair enough. But not many people do. He just can't. He was, because he was from Egypt, so he had at school. He says that he was bullied at school because he was a foreigner, and when they came in, there was a lot of Italians come in. So, and there would have been Greeks there too, because my grandmother was born in Egypt. But they weren't part of the Italian community, but so they were in no man's land because they weren't Italian, but then the Australians didn't want to know them because they were Italians, but they weren't Italian, so he did have a hard, and he didn't like sport. So Australians are very sports oriented. They are indeed. So they are indeed. Yeah, so that's the only thing that makes him arc up, bullying. If you had one lesson to tell either your daughter or any other young woman who was thinking of going into the building industry, what would that pearl of advice be? Question without notice there. What would my pearl of wisdom? Don't take it personally. Just work hard. There's no excuse for not working hard. Lots of things happen in business and you can't take it personally. You've got to be able to say, well, that was the situation and this happened, so just take it for what it is. It is what it is,
move on. It's got
And
nothing
just
to do
move
with
on.
you or your personality or anything. It's what it is. Just move on.
Well, because what you would tell a younger person, or you'd tell your younger self, is that things always work out in the end.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
things that happen that are bad, a lot of times in hindsight, you're actually lucky they did happen.
They can be a catalyst for change, and they can be a catalyst for good.
Yeah, and you'll look back or you'll see that happened to someone else. Someone else got that problem that you didn't get, and you actually saved that heartache.
Yeah,
so,
and I think too that I think being a woman, you have a lot of empathy with situations that a man may either overlook or not notice.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell with your staff if there's something not quite right. If they've got an issue, you're more likely to pick it up than a male boss would.
Yes, but talking to staff and finding out where the issues personal-wise is quite hard nowadays too. They've got to want to disclose it.
That's right. Well, don't ask, don't tell. Yes.
Yeah, so you can't be that empathetic person. Yeah. You've got to be very careful about what you say. And it might, you seem upset today. What's the problem? Is not the right question to ask.
No.
Because you're not supposed to ask those questions. And so it gets very hard.
Now, another thing that I think is important in business is how you value your employees. How do you make your employees feel valued?
We give a lot of positive feedback. So if anything happens that is good, make sure that we feed it back. And this goes for our subbies as well. So if our subbies have done something really great on site, we make sure it goes back to their boss or to them if it's them personally. And that does two things. If it goes back to a larger company, we're feeding back information. That also gets brought up at their staff meetings and things like that. So everyone else that comes to site,
positive affirmation, will be aiming to achieve the same.
And so everyone else from that company knows that they were rewarded or they were mentioned, so they know what's expected of them before they come to site. So it helps keep the standard up there.
Right.
So everyone gets positive. So most of it is just positive feedback. We do training when we need to, holidays. We very much say, it doesn't matter as long as your job gets done.
Yes.
As to if you need to have 3 hours off during the day, as long as we know and the job's done, it doesn't really matter.
True.
We just need to know the job has to be done.
Tell me, can you remember a time where no matter what you've done, whether it be positive or negative, you've had a staff member that just doesn't fit in? And how did you deal with that?
You can't change attitudes. So we tend to not get ourselves in that position because we employ from attitude. We believe we can teach anyone to do anything
with the right
attitude. So it's attitude. So you've got to look for that first up. Most of the time they would weed themselves out if they know they don't belong. If we keep going on about values and morals and things
values
like
and
that.
Morals are very important.
They would weed themselves out rather than us do it. So it's and just keeping up the positive all the time.
Well, positive reinforcement can do a lot for a person. If you're, doing your job to the best of your ability and your boss tells you you're doing a good job, then you feel validated. You do. You feel like it is. And if you do have a bad day, there are still good days to come.
Yes, there is. Let's hope the economy picks up for some of those good times.
Yeah, those good times are a long time coming, and they're a long time coming.
Yes. Well, we did think it was going to get better after the election, but it doesn't seem to have flowed on that quickly.
No, I don't want to get into a political discussion with you about the whys and the wherefores with our political system. I mean, they're arguing about doing plebiscites now. I mean, who knows? How's that going to help the economy?
well, might employ a few people, but
to hand out leaflets.
yeah.
It's going to cost 160 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
160 million could go. Let's talk about your charity work, because you do a lot of charity work. You're passionate about a lot of things. What would you do with $160 million given the chance?
Oh, given the chance. Well, the two things that would be dear to me is nursing homes for younger people, so that they don't have to go. There would be nothing worse than being a young person in an old person's...
In an aged home, yeah.
It would be just horrendous.
It would be.
Ron's mother is actually in a nursing home, and there's a guy, and he's not that young, but I would say he's probably 50.
Still too young to be in a nursing home.
And he sits outside by himself most of the time.
Oh, that's cruel. That's so sad.
Yeah, but you think everyone he's with is 80.
Yeah.
It's just so that would be ideal to be able to set up a nursing home. Because you
and Ron are very philanthropic.
Yeah.
And you do believe in giving back. So what's another one of your charities? What's another one of your causes?
The bone marrow register is another one that has been around for a long time now, but when it started, you had to get your bone marrow tested. They wanted siblings because it was easier to get matches and things like that. That's not the case anymore. But when that first came out, I said to my sister, let's go and get it done because they need siblings.
Yes.
And I think actually I paid to have my bone marrow tested because it was
not the done thing.
It was not the
common.
done thing
then.
I said, I don't care. I'll pay for it. Who cares? It just everyone needs to do their bit.
Yes.
And it annoys me if people say, I wouldn't donate my bone marrow anyhow. And you think, well you would take it. If your child was sick, you would take it.
But why not?
Why wouldn't you do it for somebody else?
Exactly.
But there are people that don't want to.
There are people in life who are givers and there are people in life who are takers.
Yes.
And you can't really ever change some people.
No, not at all. And if you're a giver, you have to set boundaries because takers never will.
This is true. They'll walk all over you. Not that I would imagine anyone would walk all over you, Jay Mangano, but you are a very generous spirit.
Thank you.
No, you are. And in summing up our little discussion about women in business, any last thoughts on anything we haven't covered today? In the world according to Jay Mangano?
In the world according to Jay Mangano, I think we need more business women.
We do need more business women. We need more women to step up and, crack that glass ceiling.
Yeah.
And if men can have children and maintain senior roles in companies, why can't women?
This is correct. We should be equal out there. There should be that same amount of people on boards and things like that.
That's right.
Over time it will get better.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see it in our working lifetime? I don't think so.
Probably not in ours, but hopefully
maybe in
my
our
daughters. Yes,
in our
my daughter's time it might.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jay Mangano from Devrite Homes. We've been talking about women in business, and if there's a woman in business better than Jay Mangano, I haven't met her yet.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Back shortly with more on the Sattler Files.
This is the Sattler Files.
Devrite Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At Devrite Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about Devrite Homes at www.devrite.com.au.
This is the Sattler Files.